Señor Víctor, señor Ceballos, buenos días.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo está? Buenos días.
Aquí estamos luchando con la tecnología, con el medio ambiente, con todo para que todo funcione. Tú sabes, la ley de Murphy. ¿Se conoce ya la ley de Murphy? Esa de que todo puede salir mal en algún momento.
Cuando más lo necesitas, no lo encuentras.
Justamente, entonces ya tengo todo esto, y bueno, estoy ya contacté al alemán por el celular y se está uniendo. Ahí está. Mr. Deutsch.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenos días. ¿Puedes probar
Ya
bien
está.
tu micrófono? A ver, habla para que te escuchemos.
¿Está bien el sonido?
Te escuchamos magnífico. Déjame ver, espérate, déjame revisar el tema de compartir pantalla. Ajá. Multiple. Ya, a ver, prueba si puedes compartir.
Hallo, wie geht's?
Hallo, gut, da spricht jemand Deutsch. Super.
Ja, sehr gut.
Maravilloso. Tenemos puros profesores que son multilingües, profesor Mr. Deutsch. ¿Ya?
Puesto, claro.
Er ist ein Lehrer von Acapulco, Mexiko.
Es muss sehr schön sein dort.
Ya, ¿puedes compartir? Can you share? ¿Te
Ja, hold
permite?
on a second. No, this didn't work. Ah, okay, here we go.
Ya, perfecto.
Our mission, wonderful. But I'm right, the official start is not now yet. It's just a test, yeah? No.
No, it is 11:30, so in 11 minutes more. The guys are already in their school recess, so they have to come here. Mr. Victor, your students are going to attend from school or from home?
Uh, High school, the classroom.
Okay,
University, at home.
okay, okay. So, yeah, so you can share. Everything is being recorded. Víctor, te voy a hacer co-host por si tú sabes, todo puede pasar en este planeta, puede haber un terremoto en este mismo momento acá en Chile, entonces para que usted siga tranquilamente la, ¿cómo se llama esta actividad? A ver, hello, multiple.
David, a mí también hazme co-host, por favor.
Ok,
Hola, Víctor,
Buenos
saludos.
días.
Buen día. Viele Grüße nach Deutschland. Wir sind in Deutschland
Dankeschön.
gerade. Ja, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, natürlich. Wir alle sprechen hier Deutsch. Das ist gut.
Wunderbar.
Ja, aber heute geht es auf Spanisch, natürlich. Oh, auf Englisch, meine ich. Ja,
Now
wird gut sein.
today, yes, Spanish is okay.
I think majority of people
Not-
here speak actually more English than Spanish, no?
And
For the Spanish group, we are just three people, but the rest are from India, from Asia, actually, no? So anyway, we will go through, no problem. Yeah. También, ¿me puedes ser co-host, por favor? También, en caso de...
pero no lo puedo encontrar. Ahí donde están los participants, como que no me
Exacto.
permite.
Participants, vas a la derecha y tienes que cliquear sobre tres puntos. O sea, está el nombre de la persona y al lado extremo derecho. Y ahí, make co-host.
No me permite eso, fíjate.
Ahora sí, ya soy co-host. Gracias. Thank you.
¿Eres co-host ya?
Ajá, sí.
Ya, ¿tú puedes
Correcto.
ir con Víctor también? Yo no lo he
Claro,
hecho.
luego inmediatamente, entonces Víctor acá.
Ya. Voy a buscar a mis alumnos.
Perfecto.
Permiso.
I don't know. I have this my one like funny nickname here. I don't know how to change this because I never use I very
No
seldom use
problem.
Zoom.
If you go please to your small screen on the right side, on the top of the small screen where you are,
Yeah.
you will see mute, and beside mute you have three dots.
Yeah.
Then you
Okay.
click on the three dots and you get a list, and in the list you can change at the end, rename.
Okay. Standard whiteboard Notizen. I see that three dots. Yeah, that's maybe.
You have to click on the three dots and then you get a list, a column with many options,
But it
maybe 9 or
does not
no?
give me that option.
Oh,
But it doesn't matter.
yeah. Anyway, we know that you are there.
Yes.
The main figure today presenting, introducing your company. So don't worry. Are you now in Germany or are you moving around by chance?
No, I'm in Germany, in Mainz,
Ah,
which
okay.
is
Yeah. Very nice.
yeah, close
Yeah.
to Frankfurt, the
Right.
headquarters of DB Cargo.
Mhm. And you work directly with the global organization, let's say, or with a more regional
No,
approach,
it's
like
a
Latin America,
European
Asia?
organization.
Right,
So,
right.
so
Okay.
the rail business ends usually at the coast, yeah, and we have one stretch to China, but basically it's concentrated on Europe.
Right. Okay. Yeah, interesting, interesting. Good to
So
know.
of course,
You learn something new
reception.
every day. Me in this case. Yeah. No, I got a chance to live in Germany many years, 20 years ago, exactly yesterday. It was 20 years that I was over there, that I left Germany, no? I am based in Ireland, but I got a chance to study in Saxony, in Dresden.
Dresden,
So,
it's a
yeah,
beautiful city. Mm.
yeah, I think so. It's a really beautiful, beautiful place, and yeah, it was a long time ago, of course, and a lot of things change, of course, no? In the last 20 years in Germany in general. Yeah. I don't know.
I used to live 1 year near the Mexican border in Juarez, Mexico, and El Paso, and so Juarez was just across the Rio Grande.
Oh my
Right.
God.
That time you
It was a
could
long time ago. When was that?
30 years ago, about
Okay, for a long time. Yeah.
no even more, yeah, 30 years. Mhm.
Mm. Just by chance, or were you
There was
studying this time, or
a
exchange
student
program?
exchange program, yeah.
Ah, very nice.
See, in my career, I always was looking for international issues and some adventure.
So you mean looking to escape?
Yeah, also, but I always like to come back. So,
Yeah. Right, right. Okay.
Happy.
It was an exchange program during college time or school time?
school time, high school.
Ah, okay. So the last year, let's say, of secondary, more or less.
Exactly, yes.
Ah, very nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it is 5 minutes more. The guys are coming here, and I would like that the boys and girls from India, from Mexico, the ones with the camera, may turn their cameras on. Con la vista así, vista mosaico, galería, yeah. Hello, Miss Mamta, how are you doing? Welcome to this session. Deepa, Titus, good morning, Pavel. I would like that all the students may turn their cameras on, please. So, hello, everyone. Thank you very much. dear Aparna, a teacher from India, once again with us. Tú vas a estar acá con la cámara. Oh. Yes, sir. Sí, mochila fuera. So, céntrame. Ya, ahí está. No, we don't, and we will not. Yeah? So sit, please, guys. Hello, dear. Morning. Yes. I'm okay, everyone. So it is 11:28. In 2 minutes time, we're going to start. Hello, Eli. Eli are you from Mexico? Yes, you look very comfortable there. Very comfortable. Okay, so I would like that you teachers from India, from Mexico can tell your students to turn the cameras on so that we can see and we can start on time at 11:30. Guys?
I request students of St. Aloysius Gonzaga School kindly turn your cameras on and please go to your screen and see the three dots and rename with your first name and the school name.
So you listen to Miss Aparna, you have to follow her requirement. Thank you very much, Miss Aparna. That is the way we have to be. Thank you very much. Okay.
Hello, David. This is Deepa here
Okay.
from St. Aloysius Gonzaga School.
Okay.
Aparna's colleague.
Good evening. Good. And Abigail from Zimbabwe, there I see you as well. And Deepa, nice to see you.
Hi.
Okay. So
Hi, David.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I would like that everyone may be ready, so you may turn your you can mute your Zoom in the meantime. So it is 11:30 here in Chile, and here we are going to start this presentation. So I would like to welcome everyone, especially Mr. Ivo Deutsch, who is going to be the one in charge of the activity today. But also I would like to thank to Xavier School in Jaipur, India. So they are once again with us here. Also St. Ignatius College in Harare, Zimbabwe. They are also here in this session. Also Gonzaga School from Mangaluru, India, once again with us. And Mr. Victor Ceballos from Universidad Loyola del Pacífico in Acapulco, Mexico. And of course, we, the host from this session, San Ignacio in Santiago de Chile. So I would like to welcome once again everyone in this very first session of Exploring Logistics and Global Careers. So we are going to have Mr. Ivo Deutsch from Deutsche Bahn Cargo in Germany. Yeah, so I would like to thank you for your commitment, for this help we are going to have from you and this speech, which is going to be very important with these guys, because they are about to finish a school in 1 year or 2 years. They are going to finish and they are going to start their study time at the university. So I will share with you some information about Mr. Deutsch. Ivo Deutsch was born in Hamburg, Germany in the year 1969 and has accumulated more than 20 years of international leadership and management experience, particularly within controlling and finance. Furthermore, he was responsible for the realignment and structuring of commercial areas and is recognized as a valued business partner on both management and board levels. His professional career includes significant management positions such as CFO and Managing Director of Deutsche Bahn Cargo Schweiz, Head of Program Investment Controlling at Deutsche Bahn Cargo AG, and currently Head of Performance Management of the European subsidiaries. Notably, Deutsche Bahn, its current employer, is a state-owned company in Germany with over 200,000 employees worldwide. Its cargo division employs 30,000 individuals and holds the leading position on freight on rail across numerous European countries. In addition to these roles at Deutsche Bahn, Mr. Deutsch's professional history includes management positions in controlling at prominent companies such as Hamburg Süd Shipping Group, Schenker Deutschland, Ursa International, Fresenius Kabi Deutschland, and his industry expertise lies particularly on industrial manufacturing, transport, and logistics. Moreover, Mr. Deutsch is not only a graduate of industrial engineer and a certified accountant, but also volunteers with the International Association of Controllers and serves as a lecturer. Finally, Mr. Deutsch is fluent in English, as well as Spanish, French, and Chileno. Mr. Deutsch, please.
Thank you very much. And yes, I am Mr. Deutsch and not Doc Snyder. If you see my nickname here, that's some thought that you see that also I'm also a human being and have hobbies and friends that do chistes, jokes with me, and that's why the name is, and I was not able to change it right now. So just ignore it or laugh on it as you like. So yeah, if I couldn't speak English, I wouldn't be here. So that's all you all also are learning English, which I think is a very good thing. So that makes communication throughout the world possible. Wonderful. And yeah, today we will share some time together, and I hope it's not only me talking here, but we get some questions and maybe I learn also something from you. And so we will concentrate a little bit on logistics at Deutsche Bahn Cargo, what this company does. And the second part will be also what was my career and my way to getting a manager. And I like this job, and maybe some of you also want to be a manager or something. Yeah? So we'll come back to that. But first, the question is, what is logistics? And I see someone has an idea. 2, 3 words. I would say everything is logistics. As Mr. Magis, you have the world map behind you. So everything is logistics. I mean, everything you buy, you do, unless you're staying in bed, you move. Things are moving. So if you have an iPhone, there's a lot of logistics in there, and that reaches from China over the United States of America. And so it's basically of moving things and people. Today, we are concentrating on moving things or goods. And it's basically very simple. Get the right thing at the right time, at the right place, at reasonable costs. Let's put it that way. That's easy. Yeah. So you have to be at school at the right time, at the right school every morning. And of course, you will not take a helicopter because that is too expensive. So you take the most reasonable way. That is logistics. But as I understand, we will come to Deutsche Bahn Cargo a little bit later. And Mr. Chamorro, I think one thing, and now I would start like how I got into that position. And I think the key is I have you have to develop some kind of an idea what you want. To be honest, there were times I didn't really know what I wanted. But if I think way back, it's a bit funny. I think it was about at the age of you, I thought it would be great to be a boss. So I would not have to work everything and do everything myself. So I would have people that do things for me. So that was in my mind when I was about your age, but it took a long, long time. And there was also times I did not exactly know what I wanted to do. But I mean, if you figure out for yourself some things you do not want to do, that's also something. So you can sort out some things. I knew it should have been something international. I knew that I wanted to earn good money. And I knew it had to be something technical. Well, when I came to that decision what to do, first of all, in Germany, after school, you had to go to the military service. So there was not a choice. You had to do it. And there, at least, I learned what I did not want to do. I did not want to be a part of a group that I was told every day what exactly I have to do. I said, no, it's better to be someone who tells others what to do. And when you know what you want to do, then you go for it. So you have to make a plan somehow. What do you need to get there? It can be that, I don't know, you want to be an adventurer. It doesn't really matter what it is, but it's, develop an idea what you want to do. And in my case, it was after the military service, I knew, it had to be international, something economic. Earning money has something always to do with economics. And there was this opportunity at it's like a technical college. I think nowadays it's already a university. They offered like studies, it's like called industrial engineer. So half is economic and half is technical. So that it has both. Maybe some of you know already you want to be exactly an engineer, that's fine, or you want to be a translator or whatever, then it's clear you go for it. I didn't exactly know, so there were more options in those studies. And I really tell you, the first semesters were tough. I did not like what I had to do. A lot of studies, a lot of stress. But when I thought, I know when I get through this stress, that would be like a key to what I wanted to be. So it was kind of bearable. So that was my intention to get this done. And after it was ready and I achieved it, it got better. So, but for me personally, I never stopped having fun. That's also something. I think when you just do it only to earn money and only to work hard, you will never be excellent. You have to somehow like what you do. And somehow I found out what I like to do. Okay, that's a short overview until the studies. And David, my good friend, was also something that I wanted a story. Yeah, I knew in these studies there was an international part, and that was also by chance that I say, well, I want to learn a bit of Spanish because you have English in the world, but Spanish is one of the most spoken language in the world. So I think that could not be so bad to know it. And so I decided to do like one semester in a Spanish-spoken country. I did not know anything about your wonderful country, Chile, but there was a chance that they say, okay, you can do an internship and go to Chile and learn Spanish. No, Chileno, yeah. because when I came there, and David, your teacher, David Chamorro, was at that time my teacher. He taught me Spanish, and so that's also one reason why we are also here together now. And I remember that was tough. Is Mr. Chamorro a tough teacher? He should be, because if you don't, if it's not a bit tough, you will not learn a lot. Life is not always fun. But I managed together with your teacher, and somehow when you say, why did I become a manager, or why did I come into logistics? That was also one part where I was in Chile and I saw these containers. Well, I mean, containers are the connecting logistic boxes where all the goods all over the world are being moved, with the name Hamburg Süd. Yeah, who knows Hamburg Süd? Who has seen a container with that? The red container with the white written Hamburg Süd. I know that in Chile you see them quite often. In the other parts of the world, I'm not quite sure. I saw this very container and I said, that could be cool to be in that company where you can, where you are internationally visible. And as I am from Hamburg, a few years later, I realized that the headquarters of Hamburg Süd are in Hamburg, my birth town. I applied there, and obviously they asked me why did I want to do this job. I had no idea about the specifics of logistics and transport, but I said I like this company, I like the international things of it, and somehow I think I convinced them that I'm the right one for the job. And if you're ready with your studies, yes, you are ready and you have a degree, which is fine. And the better the grade is, the more chances you have to enter into a position. But that's only the key. The real learning starts then. What you learn in college is important, but when you get into a job, then you really learn. And what you learn is not, it's not mathematics anymore. That's in school, and that's the basics. And that's something I think is also very important. Learn how to get along with people. And people are very different. Yeah? You like some people, others you don't like. If you have friends, you can choose them more or less. If you get into a company, there's not so much of a choice. You have to work with people of different cultures, of different characters, but how you get along with them is also a key of success. No matter how good you are in the thing that you are doing, be it engineer or economics or financial, like me. So, Mr. Chamorro, you have to tell me when I'm getting off time and give me a bit of guidance, because I like to talk about my things.
We are okay on time, but I would like to tell you that it is very interesting what you are telling to us, because the students are in the age where they are finishing school and they have to decide what to study, and they have to set their goals in life. Yeah, that is the reason why everything you are telling to us is very important, because many times we just listen to our parents. I mean, if we listen to them, but to listen to somebody else who is far away from our culture, far away from our school life, somebody who's not connected to schools, it is very important for us, especially when you have such a responsibility in your company. So thank you very much.
So then, I can go ahead a little bit. Yeah. And finally, after more than 20 years in profession, I would say I reached my goal. I became a boss. And that was like when I was a boy or girl like you, and I was sitting in my room at home, imagining I would be a boss with a desk, nice computer, maybe someone who brings you the coffee. Yes, and I achieved that. And yes, I was proud, and it's hard work. You have to be. It takes a long time. Sometimes maybe you're lucky. Yeah, somebody knows you and say you are the great guy. You will become immediately a boss, but very seldomly. And then I said, oh, well, that's great. Yeah, you have a company car. Someone brings you the coffee, and you can tell people what to do, and usually they do it. Very nice, but it's not. Yeah, I mean, being a boss is something, but it's also what you think that it's that all the bosses look happy. Yeah, not always, I think, because the key for that job, you have responsibility, and first of all, it begins with responsibility for yourself. For myself, it was my responsibility to finish studies. No one else I could blame, or nobody else could do it for me. Yeah, it would be nice if you have someone say, do my degree and I have it. No, that's yourself. Nothing, no one else. And then you start maybe taking responsibility for other people, like your teachers. They have a certain responsibility, or your parents. Yeah, they have a responsibility until a certain time. And if you feel that you have 100, 130 people you are responsible for, to paying them every month the bill, that's now the finance part. That's something. And if you see if everything's running smooth and fine, yeah, no crisis, no riots, no nothing, no customer that doesn't pay, it's fine. But once you get in a situation, like from a finance perspective, yeah, you have to see, okay, I have to pay the wages next month, and my customer doesn't pay for it. Yeah, I'm just switching to the finance one, and I'm responsible. What should I do? Should I ask my employees, say, sorry, I can't pay your wages because we have a problem here? Not so good. So switching to the finance role, and that's what I realized very early. I liked always numbers and figures. And if you know that, you might be good in engineering or even finance. And the good thing about finance is you need it everywhere. So every company, even your school, have someone who's responsible for finance. And if everything runs well, the finance guy has to make sure that all the things are bought that you need. They have to make sure that the electricity bill is paid, little things like that. And all that doesn't happen by chance. So that's a bit something in the background. If it runs well, it's fine. And if you are working in a normal company, what is the goal of a company? Yeah, okay, logistics, moving goods, fine. Yeah, container from A to B. But this costs money. And in the end, every company has to earn money. So you get more money than you spend. And that's the responsibility of a finance guy, that to make sure that not only today, but also tomorrow and in 1 year, that your company is able to pay the bills and make some money. And probably all of you have in your private life the same. You get some money from your parents, probably, yeah. Or maybe someone is working for money already. I don't know, yeah. But you also know what you can afford or not. If you like to have a car, or if you have to like a new iPhone, yeah, if you go to the shop, you have to pay for it. And that's basically the same in a company. You have to pay for everything that the company wants, and you have to make sure that you have customers who pay the bills. And in your case, yeah, you will have to find a job that pays you the money that you can pay your children or whomever the pocket money that you can buy a house or a car or something. So that's everywhere the same. Yeah, I'd be glad if someone has already some questions. Otherwise, I can continue.
Here, Mr. Deutsch, we have Homero. Homer, he's got a question.
Yeah.
I will. There. There. Okay.
Okay, so my question is, how do you manage to organize your life, your personal life, with your role at Deutsche Bank?
Very good question. Thank you very much. At the moment, well, I personally, I always think, and the day has 24 hours. At least you need 6 hours of sleep. At least. I need a little more. Then you have some time for your personal things that are just necessary. So that leaves something between 8 and 12 hours reasonably for working. And usually there's always more work than time. If you're in a position where you're not assembling something, you know, some simple work, which is also okay. I mean, that also has to be done. And then I say, okay, if my personal limit is more or less 10 hours of work every day, and then I think I will fill these 10 hours as well as good as I can. And it's not always easy, yeah, because if there's some crisis, maybe you have to do some extra hours. I think most of the time, if you have a little bit of idea what can or might happen the next day or the next month, you can prepare for it. So you don't have a lot of surprises and you can pretty much plan the things. Okay, these 10 hours of work, what do I do with it? You have to prioritize, yes, and there you have to decide between urgent and not urgent, and important and not important. The worst thing is there are urgent things that are not important. It takes time and doesn't bring a lot. Urgent, non-urgent, important, not important. The important one that are not urgent, yeah, you can always postpone till the next day. But always, yeah, try to find a time slot for these things. The important ones that are not urgent. And also, I think, yeah, the personal and the family life, yeah, you say that like work-life balance. Sometimes there are some people that say, okay, in our company, we have a work-work balance. But that's a company view. My personal opinion, you have to have something else than work. There might be people that are so much into their work, they love it so much that they can work 18 hours a day. I'm sure that these people exist, but the majority, I think, yeah, you have a family, you have friends, take time, because having the balance between the things that are a bit different than work and from work also helps to get some distance, helps you to settle down your thoughts and start again with fresh sleep, fresh ideas. And practically in my spare time, I'm singing in the choir. I do a lot of sports. That's for me, it's also important. Yeah, I think without sports, you need some physical exercise so your brain can work much better. These are my personal things, how I handle it.
Thank you very much. Clearly, it's very important, this balance. So
Here, Mr. Deutsch, we have another question from Mr. Haddad. So here, next to me, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, there you are. Okay.
So, Mr. Deutsch, do you think should we follow our dream job even if it's not well paid? And if we do, what shall we do or learn to overcome this problem and progress in life?
So I understood correctly that you should do maybe some work that is not so well paid.
Should we follow our dream job, even if it's not well paid? Or if we do, what should we do or learn to overcome this problem?
First of all, I would say if you have a dream job, do it, no matter what the pay is, unless you are struggling and that you just don't pay, can come over your what you have to have for money. Because I am fully convinced if you do what you really like and what you're good at, you will be happy. Huh? If you do something that you do not like and get a lot of money, but the chance to be really happy is not so high, I would say. And maybe one more thing, I did not always earn a lot of money. And that's what I said in the beginning. I think as long as you're learning something, it's good. Yeah, and so I took a lot of jobs where I learned things and did not get a very good pay. But once you have achieved more knowledge, then you have also an argument to say, okay, boss, I have done a great job and didn't get so much money, but look, I have done this. Then you have good arguments that he pays more. On the other hand, you have your degree. I'm the greatest. I want so and so much money. I need this because I'm the greatest. My personal thing is first prove that you can do it, and then you have good arguments to get more money.
We have a question by somebody, Suhan Gupta first. Suhan? Can you?
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sir, yes, sir. So I wanted to ask you that, being a human, we all have got emotions. So, there are some days that we feel low in this busy life schedule of ours. So how do you go through those days of procrastination? How do you motivate yourself, to keep working in that phase of life?
Thank you for that question. I like that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
To be honest, in the last weeks, I had such times because I just changed jobs and it's a new job. If I knew the goal, what I want to achieve or what I want to do, then it's easier to overcome that. You say, okay, today it's hard, maybe tomorrow, but if I succeed, I know that I can do something good. And in my case, that's I'm responsible for the European companies and DB Cargo. And to be honest, they are struggling quite a bit. And that's, also it's a sort of a crisis that we have here also in Germany with economics. They say, okay, if I manage, I have an imagination like a year or year and a half in advance, if I manage to have a better situation than now with what I'm doing here and which I'm fighting with, then that keeps me motivated. So one thing, and the other thing, what I just said before, if I have still some things in my private life that I really like. So every Monday, the choir rehearsal, I go to the choir and I say, these 2 hours are just my time and I can relax and don't think about work. That helps me.
Those keep you lively, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you and thank you to Mr. Deutsch. Mr. Deutsch, we got a question from Mr. Kelvin from St. Ignatius College in Zimbabwe. Kelvin?
Yeah, how are you, Mr.
Yes, we can listen to you.
So my question is, what would you think is the smartest thing to do in a situation where you are interested and you're passionate about something in a certain field of work, but you don't really have as much talent as other people in that field, or you don't really have as much talent as is needed for you to pursue a career in that field, but at the same time, you're more talented in something else, but you're not passionate about that. So what should you go for, passion or talent?
Wow. I really like your questions. Best thing, of course, is if it's both. If you have passion and talent. The best answer that in almost no matter where is always it depends. Yeah, so you gain some time. I would say might find out what is more important. Yeah, if you have a passion and you want to achieve something, I'm also convinced with a lot of work, and even if you don't have the talent, you will be able to achieve a good level. But if there's not, I mean, if the talent is limited, you will never be excellent. But it's also okay. I mean, not everyone is excellent. There are a few people that are, like gods, and I'm also like middle management. I'm not a top management. There are others. It's always, and a matter of the perspective. From where do you look at it? There's always people that are better. There's always people that are not so good. And the most important thing is, I would not say that you are happy, but that you are like satisfied with what you're doing. Happiness is something you can. It's a moment, a glimpse. But if you're satisfied, and if you also like to try and don't mind the pain, I would say, go for it. And you will try, and then if you try again and again and again, you will see that you will get better. And like in my personal life, I once wanted to run a marathon, and I could hardly run 3 miles without collapsing. But it took a time, and then you see, hey, and then 5 miles, 10 miles. And after, it took time, so you be persistent in what you're doing and not give up too early. If you have a goal, that's the same thing again, and you are persistent in doing it, you will see that you will get it. And also, probably like your teachers or parents, whomever, it's also something, if you have a good friend, you can talk to and you can share these ideas and that is honest with you, giving you an honest feedback. That's also something, if you manage to keep that in life, that you have persons that are honest with you and give you honest feedback, try to get such people as early as possible, because later on, like say, in my position, people are not honest with you anymore. They are friendly because I'm the boss. That's it. But you cannot really see, do they mean it or not? Hope that gave you a little idea what you can do with that situation.
Thank you.
Much to Mr. Kelvin from St. Ignatius College in Zimbabwe. And we got another question by Shauya Potter from St. Xavier's, Jaipur, India. Mister, please, we can listen to you.
Hello. I wanted to ask a question on how to start a conversation to get along with people, how to break the ice.
Oh, I get along with.
How to get along with people, how to start a conversation.
Okay. So how, to generally how to handle the people, which I'm part of it, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've one saying, yeah. treat other people like you want to be treated. That's the first thing. Yeah? So if maybe, well, I know also bosses, because they're boss, they think they can treat people in a way that he probably would not like to be treated. So my personal thing is, if you do it like that, you have better chances to achieve what you want. And it's also, if you treat people right, they will, and not like you have this command and order, you say you do that, and if they do it and they are not convinced of it, they don't do a good job. So if you give, it's my opinion, if you give them trust and say, okay, I trust you in doing it, usually I got along well. But also, yeah, it's also people that are cheating, and if you detect that, yes, you have to be consequent and strict. And I also had to lay off people. That was not nice, but that has to be, because here you have to achieve a goal, and if someone does not work for the goal and does not comply with what is necessary, probably, and in most cases in that situation, this was good for both parties, because neither your colleague or my employee was happy, neither me, and then it's better to be honest. And that's also something, at least like my grandfather told me, honesty lasts the longest. Sometimes it's a stupid saying, but sometimes you come maybe into a situation and say, how do I get along with it? But if you are honest with the people, usually they appreciate it and it feels better. Was that kind of the direction what you wanted to know?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And maybe two things that fit sort of in this area of questions. It's one saying that love it, change it, or leave it. Love it, change it, or leave it. So if you love it, that's fine. That's perfect. You can, yeah, I'm talking about the job, but it can be also a personal situation. It doesn't matter. And if you don't like it, if you don't love it, then try to change it. And if you're not managing it, then try to leave it. I know that it's not sometimes easy, yeah, because in situations, sometimes you cannot just leave it and say, yeah, I quit this job, because if you have to earn money, you have to, yeah, just do it. But usually, yeah, I get in contact with a lot of people that complain a lot. This is bad, this is his fault, and here and there. But then I ask them, have you thought about a solution? Yeah, you're telling me problems. And have you thought about a solution? And that's also for personal life. You know, you cannot change a lot of things in the world, but you can change yourself, and you can change the position you are in. Yeah? Say, okay, I can change. You can change something. The environment probably will not change because you say I don't like this person or the situation. Or you move out of the way. And I did this twice. I quit a job because I really did not like it and I was not able to change it. But more times I was able to change it because I said, well, if I have an idea of what the picture in the future can be for a situation, personal situation, for a company, and I started working on that, convincing others that this is also a good idea, then they work with me. So you not work alone, but together with someone. For example, I suggest in school you also have teamwork. Usually you are better when you're working in a team. And you work good if you know what you want to achieve. If you just start working and don't know why and for what, can be difficult.
Mr. Deutsch,
Yeah.
got another question by a student from St. Aloysius Gonzaga in India, Mr. Chimnai. Please.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
My question is, what career options would you recommend which has a lot more opportunities in our economy right now?
With regards to the education by itself, you say like IT or
Like, if I have to give an example, I would say artificial intelligence.
okay. So what area of yeah, I understand.
Yes, sir.
If I could look, if I had the crystal ball and look what the future is, I could give you a clear answer. I remember in the past there was like, you gotta be an engineer because we have not enough engineers. And everybody studied engineers, and then there were too many engineers. Or medicine. Always need medicine. And they said we had too many medicals, and they stopped there. So that's always in waves. What we had before, I think most important is that you like what you're doing. And not go for something. If somebody says artificial intelligence is the future, then you do it because you think it's the future, and the future is there, and maybe the future has changed again. That can always happen. But generally, I think you have to make two thoughts. Do you want to be a specialist in one field or more a generalist? Like say you know a lot of everything, but not in the depth. Usually as a generalist, yeah, like me, more or less, yeah, I'm in finance, and that's nice. In finance, you can work in every company in every world, but also it can be, so artificial intelligence will take some of my work, which is nice because I don't like this handiwork. So this decision, specialist, generalist. With a specialist, if you're a good at something, you will also succeed. Unless you don't learn, because things are changing. Yeah? The specialist always can succeed if you learn every day what is that you keep up to date. And what cannot be or not so easily replaced by artificial intelligence is also your social competences. Yeah? So that is a bit independent from the job you're doing, but you have good social competences. And I had the other question before, yeah, how do you treat people? If you get along with people, and in the end, like me, if you manage people and that are doing what they should do, this is also something that cannot be so easily replaced, and you can use it everywhere. So, for example, I think psychology is still something that is very important. You know? You also need engineers that are constructing things, but repetitive work where you don't have to use a lot of brain, yeah, the chance that will be replaced by automatization or artificial intelligence is higher. And if you do something with IT, I think it's not so bad, but IT is also a very wide field, so it can be something that is not in the fashion anymore when you're ready with your studies. Best thing, find out what you're good at and improve that. And as you said, if you know your weaknesses, yeah, where you're not so good at, if you try to become excellent at your weaknesses, probably not so good an idea. But if you know them and know how to treat them, that's the right thing. Example, penguins. You know penguins? Yeah, these nice little birds, and I saw them. I was just in Argentina and Chile, and really nice. If you see them walking, how does it look like? Funny. But if you tell them go 100 meter sprint, they will fail. They'll just fall down, and they will never, even if they try hard enough, they will never be able to do a marathon or a sprint on land. If you see them in water, wow, they are fast, they are elegant, they are just doing what they can. So if you find out in which environment you are doing the best, the penguin, the environment is the water, there he's fine, not at land. So, and you will never be a marathon runner being a penguin on the land. For example, I would never become a good lawyer because I hate reading long texts. I just can't do this. And so I avoid it as good as I can. And if you're a boss, you can have someone who does it for you, and someone who you can trust. And if he likes that, that's wonderful. He likes what he's doing, and I am rid of my weaknesses. And this is not only being a boss or not a boss, but if you like in school, if you're from working groups, if you know someone is good at PowerPoint, let him do it. The other one is better at math, then he does it. And together you have a fine result.
Mr. Deutsch, thank you very much for the student from India. And we've got a question by Mr. Koenig here. He's going to ask you something about your company.
Good.
I know it's like a bit off track of what you've been saying, but regarding artificial intelligence, you said that jobs that take a lot of like mind power are relatively safe from artificial intelligence. So I'll assume your job is pretty safe from getting replaced but your employees are also are their jobs as future-proof as yours?
First of all, I never feel 100% safe. There's no guarantee. Things change very fast. But as you say, if you are in a management, it's also sometimes that they say we don't need managers, and we need people who do the job. So it can be both. I personally think I feel rather safe because I think I'm good at what I'm doing, and if it's not this company, DB Cargo, as you heard, DB Car, Deutsche Bahn is 200,000 employees, and just by statistics, many thousands go into retirement every year, so there's always work. And of course, they don't bring the work to you. Say, hi, this guy, you have to look for it, and you have to be visible somehow. That's what you say, visibility. All that ask questions, I can see. Wonderful. I know a face. I know someone who ask a question, so I remember them. And if you're doing a job or wherever you are, and show that you are interested and show that you do a bit more than you are asked for. It's also, maybe all the teachers don't listen, but if you have a homework, and say, I do the homework and a bit more, then say, wow, that is initiative. So this keeps into the mind, and no matter where you work, in which hierarchy or whatever, if you show interested, develop yourself, do a bit more than is demanded, I would say you are relatively safe. But if you just sit there and wait until someone tells you what to do and you do nothing more, it's not so much a question of in which area you're working or in which hierarchy. Hope that answers a bit your question.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Deutsch, we've got a question about, a personal question about your company, especially in these times where the economy and the politics of the world are a little bit of unstable. So what is the principal threat to your company in this globalized market where things are, once again, highly unstable, where the policies which were really tough in the near past are not that respected nowadays in this global economy. So what is the biggest threat to your company, to Germany, to big companies, state-owned companies like yours?
Thank you for that question. And that was also something, where I think looking at the time to tell a bit more about rail freight. I will span the answer a bit wider. As I said in the beginning, you always need logistics, moving goods from A to B, and it has to be cheap. And at the moment, one big threat is the truckings. They are cheaper because you have like in our case, a Romanian truck driver who earns half of that what a German truck driver earns, a German local driver earns, and they do the job. They do it day and night and it's very cheap. So they get a lot of our business. But what happens? The streets are full, and with the fossil fuels, you burn there. The environment is being hurt. So probably in Chile or everywhere in the world, you feel the climate change. And that is the price we have to pay, for example, also for cheap logistics. Because if you do it on rail, so you can have 30 trucks in one train, and it's not causing any pollution, almost no pollution, because it's electrified. But you have to pay more for it. But would you be willing to pay for your cornflakes double the price only because it's transported on rail and it's good for the environment? Probably not. If you're in the supermarket and say, okay, half of the price, it's easy. I can't afford it. But in the end, everyone has to pay the bill when our climate change takes away our resources where we live from. So in our case, what's good about the rail freight? It's very good for the environment, but it's a bit more expensive, and nobody really wants to pay for it. Everybody wants to pay a low price, which I can understand. But this low price, is at the cost of the future. So the mindset of most people is not that they are willing to pay now more, that their future is safer and the environment is protected much more. And also, it's a bit difficult thing if you are a state-owned company. The idea that we have to really earn money is something that is not so much in the mind, because in the past that was just everything was paid. The taxpayer, in that case, all the German people, they pay for the Deutsche Bahn, the German railway, and if you don't make money, it's not so important. That is also like a mindset, and that's why I'm a financial guy. We have to change, but because in the end, the products and the services company is selling, people have to, they must afford it. They will not pay double price. And so that's something we have to work on to become better. And that's like my passion. Say, okay, we have a great product, railway, and we have to move to that it becomes the first choice. And the question is, and also a threat. Everything that happens every day in the world is always a threat, but also a chance. For example, the Ukraine war. If you have, the logistic chains suddenly are changing. Or if you have some sanctions against, for example, Russia, all of a sudden, all transport from and to Russia stop. From one day to the other, and the logistics, the supply chains have to adapt. So that applies for every company. Try to be aware of what can happen and be prepared. So if something happens, this can also be a weather crisis. Yeah, so that we have a flooding here, and all of a sudden, some railways have to close, and we have to have some alternatives. And every train that doesn't run is not being paid by the customer. That's clear.
Okay, Mr. Deutsch, we have thank you for your answer, and we've got a question from Carlos Enriquez. I assume that you are from Mexico.
Thank you. Doc, what would be the best advice you could give to the young entrepreneurs?
Again, what would be a better place?
What would be the best advice you could give to young entrepreneurs?
Sorry, maybe the connection is a bit bad. Can somebody repeat that? Sorry, I didn't get it.
Sorry, I got bad spelling. What would be the best advice you could give to young entrepreneurs?
To young
Entrepreneurs.
Young entrepreneurs.
Thank you.
Advice. The
Best
advice
advice.
to young entrepreneurs. Yeah, okay, now I got it. Are you a young entrepreneur? Are you doing some business? Well, as I was always, almost always employed, I think that's also a good question. And again, I say if you're an entrepreneur, you have to somehow like what you're doing. If you don't like it, forget it. That's the first thing. And secondly, know the chances and risks, because nothing is without a risk. And what would I say? Have someone that challenges you. So you're an entrepreneur and you have a great idea what you want to do, and you're fully convinced that you're doing that, but you have to have someone that challenges you. Like I said before, if you're good friends and tell them their idea and ask them what they think about it. Probably a lot of people say, this won't happen because of this, there you have a problem, and this doesn't have a chance. I don't mean that you don't do it then, but if you get these feedbacks, you know what might happen. And if you know what may happen, and that you're not disappointed that you have an idea beforehand, and I think it's also a good thing that you know when to stop. You will not, to be an entrepreneur, it always takes time. You will have a hard time. Maybe you lose some money, and if you get into a phase where you say, really, I have not succeeded, know when to stop. Because sometimes you're just running into the wrong direction and it's not getting better. And therefore, it's always good, I think, to have a sparring partner who gives you also a sign and say, hey, Enrique, that was a great idea and you tried all your best, but it didn't happen. It's better to stop. That would be my answer.
Thanks, Doc. Thank you for good advice.
Thank you very much. So we've got here the last question because the guys have to continue classes. Yeah. Mr., please.
Hello, my name is Cristol and I have the next question. How does DB Cargo manages issues like power outages? Because, for example, here in Chile, if we have one, it's really difficult to make the transport fluent, and most of the city paralyzes. Or, for example, the recent case in Spain, Portugal, and France.
Also a good question. Yeah. So if we have a really blackout, also the trains will stop. That's clear. But in the Deutsche Bahn, we have a separate company within the company that's just managing the energy. We have own power plants. We have own windmills or electricity windmills, and so we have the railway system has an own electricity and power management. and also an emergency management. And so they are very aware if something happens. There's it fits a bit to the previous questions. They have scenarios. What happens if? And then they know exactly what to do. And first of all, they try to get electricity from somewhere else until the worst case scenario that they shut down the operations, but not like in hectic and all of a sudden, but they do it on a certain plan. But as I said, in the end, if you have a full blackout, also we hope that no passenger is sitting in a train somewhere, so that we manage that everyone is in the train station or at home.
Mr. Deutsch, thank you very much. We have a question by the last one by Mr. Hore from Xavier School in Jaipur, please.
Hi, sir. So I have a question that what are some of the most common mistakes made by a teenager while making money, and how can we avoid that? And is financial management really important for a teenager to understand from a very young age to for a better future, basically?
Also, I like these questions. Yeah. As I'm a financial guy by heart, I think it is very important. The other day, I listened to someone next in the restaurant. He said, "If I had been a bit more careful with my money in my young years, I could be a millionaire." So that's if you start early, saving money and putting a bit aside. The earlier, the more chances you have that this will grow and grow. The later, you just don't have the time anymore. And if you have in mathematics, the percentage, 2% interest per year, and if you start with a small amount, and if you calculate that to 30 years in advance, that wow, is that possible? Yes, it's possible. And of course, if you get your first job and if you have money and say, wow, I can afford an iPhone 20, whatever, or I buy a nice car. Yes, enjoying life, enjoying the power of money and going out and having fun. I don't say don't do it, but it depends also what your future plans are. But if you want to have a relaxed life, I would say start as early as possible. And that's also my thing. And if you don't have a plan, it's probably hard to achieve in financial means or something. So it's better to have an idea and a plan as you know what I want to achieve, how much do I have to save. And maybe if you are exaggerating it, the people say, or your friends say, what is this guy? He's not going out. He's only having one beer and not 10 like me, whatever. But it's your personal decision. But I would say most of my mistakes were also that I said, oh, I want this, I need this. And like a year later, I said it was not really so important.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Deutsch. And we have the very last question, because we have to continue our lessons, by Victoria. Victoria, where are you?
As you mentioned earlier, persistence often beats talent. How can this idea be applied in team management or company strategy?
Yes, I really had some problems understanding it. Not only weaknesses, think more technical.
Victoria, can it be possible that you write your question in the chat because there is a like echo in your microphone?
Yeah.
That's,
we cannot read the question in the chat yet. The chat general. Have you already written in the Victoria in the chat?
Probably not yet, David. Maybe while we're waiting shortly, maybe I would like to ask something very short.
Okay.
Mr. Deutsch, very quickly, so maybe David told you we are part of a community of nearly 937 Jesuit schools around the world. So we're talking about Jesuit schools, Catholic schools. How important is social responsibility when talking about companies, let's say, no? And how important is also intercultural communication when trying to find a job or to trying to understand how international companies work and are attractive for people from different regions of the world? Thank you.
Okay, then answer that first. To be honest, this social part in life I have neglected a long time, because I was very focused on the job and everything. And but I came to the conclusion that yeah, life is not everything about career and personal well-being, and it gives you much more than money if you find some things where you can give something to people, and which is not connected with money. Yeah, personally, that's not the strengths where I'm very good at. Yeah, I do a little work with the controllers community and a little bit in my hometown. So I would say yes, don't forget that. And I think most of you are very privileged to be in such a school, and we don't have to forget that. And many people that are not so privileged, and um, that it's also a responsibility to give something back. You know? As I'm a financial guy, I donate money. You know, it's also a way, but I think it's okay to some not NGOs and organizations that help in areas where people are not privileged. So yeah, keep that in mind, and thanks for the question. Yeah, the second one, intercultural things. I would just say that depends on what someone wants. Yeah? If you are interested in cultures and you think that's you feel comfortable, and the more you know, the more cultures and languages you know, the better it is, because you're flexible in life and you have more opportunities to meet people, to get good jobs. So here I say English is one of the basics for if you want to do something out of your, like Chile, if you only know Spanish, yeah, we might work in Spain, but English is the key to very much, not only work, but also in personal exchanges.
Which we have the very last one by Victoria. She has already written it in the chat. Is, as you mentioned earlier, persistence often beats talent. How can this idea be applied in team management or company strategy? In very short words, Mr. Deutsch.
Wow, an excellent question. This depends strongly on the culture of a company in that case. And that's a little bit like the penguin story. Yeah, you have to look when you go to a company, how are they treating that? It's not done by writing it into a company strategy. You have to be this and that. And then the bigger the company is, this depends also in what area you come into. So look where you go to and look at the people that are working there, and then you see with whom you want to with whom you like to work, and what is the culture you're fitting in. You have a big variety from everything, and nobody's perfect. You don't find the perfect world. Look what's best fitting to you. So I guess the time is over, and maybe before closing, my final words is thank you very much for participating, and I'm really glad for all these questions, which were very personal, that helped me also to reflect what my values are and my thoughts. And giving a lecture about DB Cargo, you have seen the presentation. Just reading it to you wouldn't be such a great value. And so I enjoyed this meeting, and I hope really that you get some ideas that help you in your decisions and in situations where you think, what should I do? And see this guy here more or less happy with in the mid-50s. And yeah, thanks for participating.
Thank you to you, Mr. Deutsch. We are very proud that you have come and helped us, that you have shared already your company brochure with us. It was very interesting. And on behalf of all the schools, Colegio San Ignacio in Santiago de Chile, Xavier School in Jaipur, India, St. Ignatius College in Harare, Zimbabwe, Gonzaga School in Mangalore, India, and Universidad Loyola del Pacífico in Acapulco, Mexico, on behalf of all of them, thank you very much. Thank you for your time, and thank you to all the schools and the teachers for your time, and thank you to Felipe in Educate Magis. So I would like that you may have a wonderful day, and see you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so adiós. Chao, chicos. Nos vemos. Bye bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, Dios. Adiós. Bye, Aparna.
Bye,
Bye,
David.
David.
Bye,
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 David.
bye. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Apana. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?